I don't usually do kind of uncut kind of bits to camera like this with no audio mastering or no editing or anything. But given recent circumstances, I kind of wanted to talk about language and how you choose to represent people and why both of those things are really important in influencing the actions of others, especially if you've got a lot of influence yourself. Um, in the interest of full disclosure, this is my fifth attempt at recording this video, because I'm not very. I've struggled to kind of express the appropriate sentiment here without falling into the same trap that I'm going to talk about in a second. But before I get into it, I just want to do a brief analog to US politics, because obviously, a few days ago, Donald Trump sent out some tweets about four congresswomen of color: Rashida Tlaib, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, and the name of the fourth one is evading me. You'd have thought I'd have looked it up in between takes. But he said in the tweets something to the effect of, if they're going to keep criticizing the US, maybe they should go back where they came from. Which is ridiculous, because all four are US citizens and three of them were born there, as if where you were born matters to how much of a citizen you are. But what was interesting from a social scientific perspective and tragic from a moral perspective was what happened next. Because at a campaign rally in North Carolina, when he was talking about this same group of four congresswomen that the media have now started calling the Squad, his crowd started organically chanting "Send them back," which is not something he'd asked them to say. It was something they said all by themselves, like provoked by the fact he was talking about them, because he'd previously, talked about them in nativist terms. And the reason I'm talking about that now, rather than at the time that it happened, was because we're seeing a similar sort of, and I don't want to say mob mentality, because that term's been done to death, but mob mentality in the, commentary community, especially on Twitter. Everyone thinks they're a detective now. Everyone's, got this massive video that's going to blow the case wide open. And it's just like, first of all, most of you don't. None of you know anything about the situation. You're doing it for clout. But more importantly, I do want to talk briefly about the relation between using my hands shaking. Sorry, using the Trump thing as an example, as an analog, the connection between my hat. I've got a tremor. Sorry, let me see if I can hold that still. And I've lost my train of thought. Using Trump as an analog, I want to talk about the connection between YouTubers posting massive videos about something and their fan base doing a certain thing. And I'm going to use this particular event as an example. I'm going to not name any names. I'm not going to go into any details about the situation or what happened or what's currently happening to anyone. Because I don't want to do the same thing that these other people have accidentally done. Accidentally. Because really, you have to accept some sort of personal liability if things happen as a result of inflammatory stuff that you've posted. Like, you can't not expect people to see your point of view as being, oh yes, well, I know what we have to do. We have to harass them and post clown emojis and all of their Twitter replies from now until the end of time. If you post videos like X is a danger to the community and Y is the worst and Z has done an egregious, unforgivable sin. And if you literally have a thumbnail where you superimpose the clown emoji over someone's face, like, that's just telling, that's politics, that's social science 101. That's like, everyone associates the clown emoji with doing this sort of thing. And so it's like putting the clown emoji over someone's face is like literally painting a red target on their forehead and going, you know what to do, wink. It frustrates me, because everyone who talks about this sort of thing, and I'm not going to talk about it because that's not my wheelhouse. Excuse me. But everyone who does this sort of thing, everyone who posts videos about this sort of thing, always do the whole bit of, oh, well, but don't, harass anyone. This video is just for entertainment purposes. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's, you're making a case for something, and you know that you are, and you have a reasonable expectation that people will react in a certain way based on what you've said and how you've represented people. And, you know, I can't apportion all of the blame to these people, because everyone is ultimately their own person. And if you're harassing people on the internet, grow up, get a hobby, go outside once, read a book that doesn't have pictures in it. Like, who are you? Just because your favorite YouTuber has said something or done something doesn't magically give you the right to suddenly go harassing someone about something that happened in their personal lives. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? You aren't the FBI. Please stop playing at it until Trump appoints you. But getting back to the main thrust of this video, you also can't accept no blame whatsoever if you create media that has this inflammatory effect and then do like a token, oh, but don't harass people bit to wipe your hands off it. You are a person of influence. Your fan base listens to the things that you say and takes the things you say seriously. And so it's important when you're criticizing people, and don't get me wrong, if someone's done something wrong, they deserve, you know, criticism for it. But there's a wrong way and a right way. You can thread the needle. And it's quite difficult. One of the prerequisites is that you need to, you know, not be doing it for clout. And it's tricky, because I know that a lot of the people involved in this situation just want what's right. But this is not the way of getting there. There is a very real danger here, a very real and present danger posed by, you know, people on the YouTube platform who don't use their bully pulpit responsibly. We saw it with Etika. We're seeing it happen now. And until people start recognizing that they have a social responsibility to enrich the public discourse rather than poison the well, we're not gonna make any progress towards fixing this situation. So basically what I'm trying to say is, try and be a decent human being. I know that's going to be difficult for some of you, but if you really try, you can probably manage it.